What's up, folks? Welcome to Arkansas, Bull Shoals Lake. Beautiful Bull Shoals Lake. Super excited to be here. I got the invite from Colvin to come down here. Gonna jump in the boat with him for a couple days. And man, this is God's country out here. This is he had a whole like 2 minutes to get to the lake. He's spoiled, man. I gotta drive like an hour and 15 to get anywhere. We're gonna get out there, do some deep water fishing, some shallow water fishing. This is all new to me. First time I've been on this lake. I fished Norfolk earlier, or actually last fall, the BFL regionals, and it was pretty sweet too. So I'm excited to get out here and see how deep. He said I'm gonna catch the deepest fish I've ever caught in my life, and I believe it. I'm looking forward to it. Gonna do a little live scoping, gonna do a little Damiki rigging, maybe some shallow cranking, who knows, but I do know I'm not working and I'm looking forward to it. Super excited, so let's get after it.
Go circle around and then swim back through the shad. So we're in 120 foot of water.
Holy cow. We don't have any lakes that deep.
Down there, and
that's 70, them right there.
80 foot, 90 foot, yeah. Longbird's a big circle down there, right?
Right.
And it's a chainsaw, and that thing's a scalpel. That Garmin, that thing is just, you can really pick it apart for what it is. So if you're down in there amongst the shad and you drop it down there, if the fish come from that way or that way, you're going to see them on that sonar before you have any clue they're even on anywhere near the Garmin. So just keep that in mind. Now looks like they're running water. When they're not running water, these shad, they stack up a little bit easier. And I'm running, once I try and stay on the shad, I'll run my, see how I had to shoot out 100 foot, but you can see how those shad are already 60 foot that away.
Yeah.
So once I pick them back up, I'll hunt them down with my trolling motor and get right in the shad. It'll make sense throughout the day, you know, because we'll bounce back and forth. If we don't get something on the deep bite, we're gonna go crank and do some other stuff.
Jeez, it winds kicking.
Nice.
All right, first Bull Shows. Here we go, folks. First bass on Bull Shoals Lake. Largy.
That's on the buzzbait?
Yeah, I was on a buzzbait. Slow rolling a buzzbait. Look at that.
The way I figure it is like a cast. You get the bait down there in front of the shad and then you drop it. If it don't happen, you bring it up and do it all over again. So we're back in them.
Is that a 12 or a 16?
That's a 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
It looks way bigger than mine. I should have got it.
I had a 16.
I know, I wish I had a 12.
Isn't that how it goes?
Yeah. You want?
Whopper. Oh, don't get off!
No! You're on the board. It is.
Little football. That's a new Wiggle Wart, the deep one. There you go. Thanks, buddy.
Getting some confidence in it. Had 2 bites on it.
Yeah. That's the first fish for that thing.
Give me a thumbs up if you appreciate the content, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Bull Shoals is absolutely gorgeous. It's my first time being on this lake, and it's just pristine. There's very little development. There's a few docks, a few marinas, but for the most part, you just feel like you're out in the middle of nowhere all by yourself. It's like a giant private lake. Rock, trees, beautiful water. Main lake visibility can be 15-20 feet, but you get back in some of the creeks and there is some stain. Now, we focused on the deep fish in the beginning. Dale was showing me how deep these fish get. We were fishing, 120 feet deep, dropping on them. It really wasn't happening. By the way, if you're interested in going to Bull Shoals, check out Colvin. He's one of the best guides in the area. He broke down what he's been doing to catch these fish, and they're in kind of a transition period right now. The deep bite's kind of going away. He calls it the big party. It's big balls of shad. You got stripers, walleye, largemouth spots, smallies all mixed in these areas. But they're starting to make that migration back into the creeks. It's an early pre-spawn movement that happens this time of the year. So the fish kind of split up and go separate ways. There'll still be some that stay out deep, but they're starting to make their ways into the pre-spawn areas. Our water temps were 46 degrees. I think the highest we saw was 48. So 46 to 48, and anywhere from 15 foot of visibility to like 2 foot of visibility, maybe in a foot of visibility if you got all the way in the back and the wind was blowing. We couldn't get that deep bite to go. So, and by the way, we were dropping ice jigs on these fish, like the jig and wrap. When it's windy, you kind of gotta go with that jig and wrap. If it's calm and slick, you can drop the Damiki Rig on them. So we went back into these creeks and we were just chasing the wind, just cranking, you know, the Wiggle Wart and the rock crawler, just something in a crawl pattern. It's that time of year the crawfish start making their way out. When it gets in the high 40s, that's when the crawfish really start moving around a lot. And something that's got some red, some crawl colors, browns, olives, a little bit of orange on the belly. That's what we were throwing. We were just kind of covering water, and it seemed to be working.
There he is. That's a good one. There we go. Yeah. Nice, man. That was a good bite, dude. Hammered it. Thanks, man. Yes, sir.
Look at the tattoos on that guy. He's pretty.
Do you have a lot of fish with the pigmentation variation in here?
Wow.
Do you? Yeah. Yeah, that was a good bite, man. It just went slack. Thanks, man. That's a nice one. There we go, guys. Little rock crawler action. Super windy out here today. We're just fishing this rocky bank. Imagine that. Bull Shoals rock. Just covering water, man. Covering water. That's fun. They're getting bigger.
I got to fish with a new brand of rod called Virtus. Dale had several of these on the deck of his boat, and I kept picking them up and trying. I threw the, I think it was a medium crankbait rod. I threw this one right here, which was the swim jig rod. It's a 7'2" medium heavy fast, and I threw the jerkbait rod. Guys, these rods are bad to the bone. They're super, super sensitive. They're very light, and they just feel really good in your hands. I plan on getting a few more of these. I was impressed by them. The sensitivity is amazing on them. They just cast good. The actions are nice.
Probably Mikey Balls.
Yeah, I watched that one.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite guys on YouTube. Dion's always good. Yeah. Dion Hidden.
Old school, man.
Yeah, I love Dion. He's got so many good stories. We had Mike McClellan on too. Not a lot of people saw that one.
I haven't seen that one.
That was pretty good. He was talking about the new SPRO mixed stick, like the +1.
Really?
Yeah, and then he had prototypes for the suspending Wiggle Wart or suspending rock crawler. 2 other good streams, Sam George and then Jordan Hartman. Those were both really good streams. Those guys are like big time offshore deep cranking guys. Yeah. They shared a lot of good information.
But you can feel every little freaking everything on that thing.
Yeah.
Well, this is a good rod. The old Falcon Carol.
Oh man, I love that rod. I just got like four of those.
In the USA.
Yep.
They're not the same since they went overseas. That's a bad thing.
Did you get one on my rod? You sucker.
The Whopper.
He was up there shallow.
Water fish.
See, you knew this was the spot where they were going to bite a jig. And you're like, here, try this shaky head rod here.
I wouldn't do that to you, man. I promise you. It's a Whopper. Why not? Here we go.
Ooh, that's a better one. That's a good one. Good one. Good one. Yeah. Dale's hooked up. That's the right kind.
That's right.
That's the right kind. That's a long one.
Long and
There you go.
Look at them a little that go.
Mm-hmm. Good work, man. Good work.
I offered the front of the boat.
I know.
Okay. You get it on the next one.
I'll get the next one. Yeah, I'm taking scraps right now. It's a good one. Good job. Buddy of Ron's, Jason Shoddy's got a house about a mile from Garrison, Minnesota. Yeah, it's a sweet location. God, there's some big ones in there. The first one I saw, I thought it was a big laydown. And I'm like, man, I started pitching over there by that laydown, and I couldn't really tell. I'm like, dude, look at this laydown. He's like, there's no laydowns up there. He's like, that's a muskie. And it started moving. I mean, it was like that big around. It was huge. He said, oh yeah, there's like 55-inch muskies. Yeah, I almost lost my S-waver to a loon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a loon out there. Yeah, I mean, it went down, and Ron's like, you better reel that thing in. I reeled it in as fast as I could, and that loon was right behind it. If I do anything, it'll be the BFLs first as a boater. It's just the time thing.
Time and money.
Yep, time and money. Smallmouth? Nope. Nice. That's a good bite. He was up there pretty shallow. Probably like 8 foot. You called it. Dale knows his stretches. There you go.
Fighting that wind is a lot of work. You really got to stay off those rocks because there's no soft spots in bull shows. It's nothing but rock. And when we would find an area where the wind wasn't blowing so bad, we'd pick up a jig. I was throwing this 3/8 ounce Procaster jig by Cumberland Pro Lures. Dale was throwing a Jewell jig of some sort, and they were both working. He had his tipped with like a hula grub type of deal, actually just like a twin-tailed grub, and I was going with like a speed crawl. I kind of trimmed the skirt down on the jig that I was using, just made it a little bit more finessey, but just fishing transition areas, you know, channel swings, places where these fish are starting to migrate to, you know, pre-spawn type areas, and just slow, steady, and we were picking up a few bites.
We got a cave, folks. We got a cave. Possibly a Sasquatch living in that cave.
Yeah, there's good signs.
Yeah.
There. A lot of sightings.
Cannot confirm or deny, but highly possible.
That one was out right before I was bringing it in. They ain't exactly. Some of them seem to be just touching the bait today.
Yeah. There he is. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Hey. That's 3 bites down through here, though. That fish was out a little deeper. He got one eye. That's why I bit it.
That was awesome.
Little red eye Rasta.
Yeah, one good eye enough to see that jig and find it.
Nice fish. Nice fish. All right. Did you do that update on it or not?
I'm afraid to.
I did it, and I don't know what to tell you about it yet, you know, because I haven't used it the regular way long enough.
With all those updates, I usually wait 6 months. I don't need it that bad, and then I'll find out if it's worth it.
I've heard a lot of bad stuff about it. You know, at first it was like, you gotta get the update, gotta get the update. I think the picture's as good as what it was, but I also haven't had a lot of experience with it yet.
Of course, anytime they first come out with something, it takes them a while to figure out all the...
Yep. You're right, guinea pig. They get a bunch of guinea pigs out there that start talking about the bad stuff, and then they try to fix it. They do an update on it. There's supposed to be another update to the update, the Garmin update.
Woo, get you some of that!
Found them.
We on them. Let's go fired up.
Same thing, man. A little thick.
Yeah. That's the same one I caught?
No, mine's bigger.
I think you're right.
Mine's definitely bigger. Oh, I see him now. Get him? Nice. Striper?
Might be a wall.
So you just hold them there?
Yeah. The drum will dig and kind of roll. He's acting kind of like a walleye. Like I'm reeling in a stick, you know? Big walleye.
The big walleye? Oh yeah. Real big walleye. Nice. Look at all those shad.
What do you think you look at that? Get that out of my boat.
Wow. That's a toad, dude. That is a, look at that.
Ain't exactly a bass, but
It's fat. And he ate it too, didn't he?
came out.
Oh. Wow. That's a solid walleye.
It's a bonus fish. Open your mouth. You're gonna make me have to retie you, goober.
Look at all these shad, man.
Isn't that nuts?
Yes. Beautiful fish. Nice.
I think you'll make the 18 swap.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Oh, come on.
Yeah,
You
he was
dirty
all over.
dog. Eat that thing. Makes me wonder about that one you missed earlier.
Yeah,
That was probably a 30-pound walleye.
probably was. 34 incher.
Yeah, that's my. Oh, go up, go up, go up, go up. Bring it up, 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 bring it up. Right there.
Stop.
Yep. Oh, there he went. Damn it.
What's that? Right there.
A couple of them cruising through there. Where are they going?
A little ocean fishing, man. These dudes are working too hard. Ocean fish are smart. Hey, I'm staying here at Driftwood Lodge. It's pretty nice, man. You know, it was like $72. You know, it's off season for 2 beds here. You know, we got a little refrigerator over there in the corner. Table. A little place to sit, play cards, or read, whatever you want to do. TV on the wall, and then here's the bathroom right here. So, Bull Shoals, Arkansas. Driftwood Lodge. Pretty decent, man. Had a fun day yesterday. Dale's awesome. Running around. It's pretty crazy fishing in like 120 feet. It takes forever for the bait to drop. But, you know, we did catch that one really good sized walleye. I had a couple bites, didn't hook up with them. The fish are kind of funky right now. They're kind of in between. You know, the deep bite's kind of going away. Fish are starting to move back in the creeks and stuff. And there's kind of like a transition going on. It's like a early pre-spawn, I would say. Water temps were like 45 to 46. As you got back further in the creeks, they dropped just a hair. A lot more stain in the backs of the creeks. And it just got that spring is coming, that spawn, pre-spawn kind of feel. But the rock crawler, wiggle wart bite was decent, just covering water, running with the wind basically. You know, looking for a certain kind of rock transition. Seemed like points towards the backs of the creeks were the places to be fishing, like the back third of the creek from what I could tell. And a jig bite, you know, I caught several fish on that Cumberland Pro 3/8 ounce Pro caster, just like a Cumberland crawl type pattern, you know, just green pumpkin basically with a little speed crawl on there. Dale was throwing a Jewell jig. He's like a green pumpkin blue, I think, you know, something with the blue in there. And you know, the deep bite was just a spoon, and I threw the Damiki Rig a little bit, but we had too much wind. It's hard to work that thing out there deep. That's really it. Going back out here a little bit, so there will be a part 2 to this video. Give me a thumbs up if you appreciate the content, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Till next time.